Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Threadlings, a filmmaking production diary. I am your host, Miguel Ortega, and this is my co host, Tran Ma.
Hello, everyone.
Uh, so, what are we doing, Tran? We're making we're making a movie in Unreal Engine 5.3, and right now I'm importing models, and Tran is working on a really cool thing.
Should I show that or
Yeah, totally.
okay? I'll show it in a
No one
second.
wants to see me importing models.
Well, I'm trying to like mirror stuff over. Hold on, let me share my screen.
How's everybody doing? Ted, how's it going? Vivek, how's it going? And Ruben.
Okay, so here's my thing. Hold on. I actually did not mirror this over.
So this is a little cart, right? Tell us a little bit about this.
I want to finish what I'm doing real quick, which is just mirroring the stuff over because I only have half of it.
Okay. It's cute as hell, though. I'll tell you that.
Okay, so now that's complete. Yeah, so this is a cart. Um, here's Mayo.
So freaking cute.
So in this scene, Mayo will push the cart. So it's part of the story. Um, and then Kot will sit right here. This is not rigged version. I basically just grabbed the model and bet him, so it has like collision stuff. And yeah, and here's the cart. So it's a pretty important piece. Like I really want it to be cute. And it also will be full of fruit, and the fruit will give it a lot of scale. It's gonna be gigantic.
Alex Nice says, Miguel's voice is dreamy. It is very dreamy.
Alex, nice. Hey, Alex.
Hey, hey.
But yeah, so this is like the design here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Uh huh.
So
Um, I'm
this piece is a super important piece. It's definitely one of the featured thingies. Daniel Zenny says, "Oh my God, it's a threadmobile. It is a threadmobile. uh, even the threadling cars are cozy. Yeah,
yeah,
they
it's
are.
all cozy. It's basically a cart that's supposed to push fruit, and for them, and this is their personal cart. We'll have like other carts in the scene that are just in the background. They won't be round shape. So if you just notice anything, I'll launch on Unreal. But if you notice anything about like the design of um, their room and their aesthetics, it's always really round. So it's always kind of centered around cod. I mean, because mayo is not really round, but cod is a ball, and with a ball head with a bunch of balls on its head, and then everything is it's just super spherical. Um, this umbrella, it's built to look like it works. It doesn't really function, but it's there. Um, and then up here in the design, it's designed like this so that it feels spherical. At the same time, it needed to be open enough so that because mayo in the scene, like you want to see the fruit and all that stuff. So that's why the design kind of looks a little bit strange like this. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm almost done. I've been UVing it. I'm like super tired today. I've
T-
been trying to get it done.
Today's not Tran's birthday, by the way. Just so everybody knows, it's not her birthday.
No, let me show the room here. But yeah, I am super out of it. Just because I've been working on this and I'm like a zombie right now, trying to get this done. It feels tedious. It's super dense, so that it's a hero piece, and then I'm also trying to make it irregular, um, so not each piece is also perfect. You can see it in this here too. And if I turn off like the two-sided normals, you can see that this is actually just a very thin piece. And it's built that way so that light can kind of pass through the material, which I think will make it look really nice when the umbrella feels like translucent kind of fabric. But yeah, and you know that this is the scene, and this scene for me is supposed to feel super cute. Let me.
Yeah, it has to fit with this little room, which is the cutest freaking room.
Yeah,
Let's see, isolate.
I'm like super slow at typing. Maybe I caught. Uh, let's view. Yeah, so that's his room, and then some other angles here. Some of their toys. Again, just everything is very round.
It's so freaking cute.
Yeah, the room is like my favorite set. Where's the blood? Let's see.
The blood is coming. The blood is coming.
I don't. Well.
Well, there's no blood
Yeah,
actually.
I don't think
There's
we have
violence, but there's no blood because they're made out of fabric. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not sure about that. This set is my favorite. So
And everything is fabric.
yeah, everything is fabric.
So everything is marvelous designer.
It's a super dense set. It's really really heavy. I also finished up Zort's room. It might look similar. Well, it does probably look similar on the stream. But I didn't have all these parts textured. The bedroom is like, I don't know. I think it's really funny because there's like his bed is right in the middle. This
Remember,
is
the
Zort's room.
scale is tiny, so the fire looks big.
Yeah, so these guys are little guys, and that's why the fire is huge. The fruit here really gives it like scale. Here's Caught over there standing weird, just serving as scale. I finished texturing all these. These are all pieces. He has his bed base here, which I built and then I textured it. So it's been a lot of work. This is like an important prop. So there's a point in the story why this is going to be pushed off, and that's why kind of like this whole thing is in the middle of the room. Let's see.
Yeah.
So yeah, so just a few more angles here. These guys are all textured. I basically re-UV them, laid them out, and textured them. I think they're in here. I don't know if I played this animation last week. Wrong.
Play it.
Just trying to find the camera. I feel like all my cameras are like
It's because you're just totally tired, so nothing.
super tired.
Tran went to sleep like
Really, really
3
late.
hours ago.
Yeah, I actually probably slept 3 hours. But yeah, so these guys animate. They play really choppy. Is it playing really choppy on your part?
Play it again. I was transferring materials.
Yeah, I'm playing.
Oh yeah, it's playing. The orreries and stuff on the top.
Yeah, so these guys all have animations. That's been implemented. Let me show the classroom set. So it's like,
Hello, Shannon.
that's Sort's room.
Alex likes it. He says it looks amazing.
Thanks, Alex. Hold on. This set is really big. Let's kill that light. So the other thing I did is I also finished retexturing this. This is Caught without clothes. He looks really weird. Let's hide him. I did lay these plants in. I started kind of doing this last stream. These came from like something else that I made a while back, but they're in here to kind of give you a sense of scale. So you could see how like small these guys are. That's why I call it's like right here.
And you can see their lights are just like little. What do they call those again? Like the little tiny candles. I forget what they're called.
They're like tea candles.
Tea candles.
Yeah, let me
That's it.
close. So the candles are huge. I also retextured this. So last week it looked really plasticky, and now it looks more waxy. It's a subtle texture job, but it makes a big difference. So all that's done. These guys are textured. I've been very busy, but it's all complete now. And let's go to Rotunda. I'm so bad at navigating. And I'm going backwards. This set is big. This is such a big set. But yeah, so like here in the Rotunda now, the entrance, to me, I wanted to see, I put these fires here because I wanted to see scale. Because without them, you don't really get that sense. And that's why these flowers are here. These flowers are like, we contemplated them a little bit because they made it look like,
A wedding.
yeah, they were like originally like white colored, but it felt really weird.
Felt like a wedding.
Yeah. So we have them, but it's just a subtle amount.
Yeah. Because the thing is, it already kind of looks like a church a little bit. So the moment you added flowers, it was like, oh shit, they're getting married.
Yeah. But I think it's not like that now.
No.
I think it's okay. Let's zoom in here.
No, but it definitely had a lot of that.
Yeah, it did. And then, you know, in front of Zort's room, he has this. I'm not sure if we'll keep it. I think it's okay. So that room I just showed you, this is the exterior. There's no room back here, but that's another level. And then I also, oh yeah, I built this too, I forgot. So I had a busy week. This is done. We made benches. And then here's a version with a back. And it's all textured. Just so that it feels less empty. And they're back here too. I can turn on the light. Right now I have very few lights. But I'll turn on the directional light, which will just kind of fill in the scene a little bit. Actually a lot. But back here, so during the day it should look more like the lighting would be a little bit brighter. And then like this is like a gathering area or something like that. Just to bring it a little bit of life. But yeah.
Yeah, we kind of were inspired by Gnomon. I kept telling Tran, like, we need like little hangout spots the way they have them at Gnomon.
Yeah, there's a ton of like areas that are nice.
Yeah, so that was the big thing for that. And I think it's gonna give it life.
Yeah. And then I think the carts are a big thing. So again, this is Cotmeo's cart. We have to build like different shapes though, because this is their special one.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have Ethan help us out with.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, Ethan, that's
Here's
the
your-
task that
yeah,
we
here's
have
your
for you.
task. So it's cute. It's almost done. It's been I've been like a zombie. But I've UV'd all this stuff. And that's the part that gets super tedious. And then the thing I started doing is I just got really like tired of trying to break this up. So originally this is all built really perfect. Same thing as this. And then so I started using like this bonus tool to do this for me. And I was going to say it speeds things up, but not really. And the reason why it doesn't really speed things up, it speeds things up in the sense that I don't have to work harder. It like does it for me, but it like works really slow. But I'll kind of demo it. It basically adds noise, and I know I could do this in ZBrush too, but I feel like it's a lot of work to like jump in and out for every piece, and there's so many pieces. I'm also trying to UV it, But I started using this bonus tool, and under modify, randomize transforms advanced, there's this thing here, but I'm not going to get much going on, actually, unless I give this some subdivisions. So let me just cut it up real quick. Here. Okay, so now I have a ton of geometry. Okay. So this tool here, if you just have the object selected, it can like stagger things. It's like a randomizer. I mean, it is called randomizer. But if you actually select, and this sometimes it crashes, so I hope it doesn't crash. It just freezes basically. But if you actually select the vertices, and this will take a moment long to process, it's actually kind of slow. I'm looking at this. Just switch to 3D mouse with view environment works so well. It's a game changer.
So what?
Switch to 3D mouse with a UE for environment. And I think that's maybe for navigation. But okay, so if I select the vertices, what that does is it enables the component mode here. And I'll just apply some strength to it. So it just gives it noise. And then here you also have like scale. I'll just make this stronger. So you can scale your noise. And this is basically how I've been breaking everything up. And then that looks like a piece of wood now, or at least to me. That's good enough. And I'll take care of the rest of it.
There was a time when all this stuff would be taken to ZBrush and meticulously sculpted. And now that we have like unlimited geometry with Nanite, we're like, too lazy.
Well, I'm just tired. Like every piece has to be like this. So that's what I've been doing here. And I go, yeah, that's good. And you can see that here. And it's a little bit on the wheel. It's actually on every piece. I did that with these parts here just so they don't look as perfect. But sometimes it crashes and it can get really slow if the mesh is dense. But yeah, that's my thing. Super tired, right? Because I was trying to get as much done as I could. I actually feel like I got a lot done. You know, when I was showing it, I'm like, doesn't feel like I'm showing that much stuff. But
it's a lot of stuff.
I did texture a bunch of stuff and build like new assets. But the cart is like moving slower than I would like it to move. But it's because it's a hero piece, and I to be honest, I'm just tired too. And that probably contributes to it. It's just an important piece. And then I think the thing I'll do after, yeah, I suck at steering. I don't know where I'm at, actually. Let's go outside. So this is what the set looks like from the outside. It looks really strange. Let's go to the classroom here. The next thing I'll be working on once I finish up the cart is adding, this is like the classroom here. I need to modify this wall. Basically take it out. This is like a stand-in for the moth. So it's a prop moth that they, in this world, practice like attacking. But it's all cute. It's not like the real thing at all.
Don't you have it open there?
That's a stand-in.
No, I know, but you have it.
I don't have the prop moth.
You don't have it?
No, I have not imported that.
I'll give it to you.
I do have it, but not in Unreal.
Oh, I see.
So I need to modify this, and I'm not sure if I have to modify this whole thing because the wingspan, so the moth is about this size, and that's just the main body. But once you like factor in the wings, like how does it fit? Yeah, and it'll be on a track, but I have to think about this first, and then I have to build some seats, and then I think I will finally be like quite done. I don't know. room feels really empty, as Miguel says. But I guess with the seats and maybe the track, it will feel complete. It's like the first room I started with, and like the most difficult room for me to complete. That's the classroom. This is the other side into the hall. I feel like this feels more complete now, even with these like flowers and these things here.
Do you guys ever miss physical aspects of the Ningyo, like soaking the books to make them look old?
No.
No, no.
So,
Well, you know what? The thing about that is that was just very grueling work. It just sucked. That last thing we did with Ghostmane, which we never even released, I think broke Tran. It broke, yeah, it broke me. We hated that experience.
I do not ever miss like any of the physical things on a Ningyo.
We would love to go back to that, but it has to be with more money.
Yeah, it was so much work, and I hated it. And I hate physically getting like dirty, like in the process of making art. I like being on the computer and not having like stained hands and like dirty fingers all the time, or like injured fingers. So it was a lot of injuries because I am not crafty. So
She's
like,
very crafty.
well, I have an eye to put things together, but I'm not actually like good at it. So then I'd always get hurt doing it, and I did not like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
you want to show your thing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton of stuff because so next week we're leaving to Austin, Texas, um, to show some stuff to Robert Rodriguez, which is pretty cool. So um, we're in the Ride Back program, which is a writing incubator that's ran by Dan Lin, who's now the head of Netflix, which is pretty awesome. And we're assigned a mentor, and each person is individually assigned a different mentor. And we asked for Robert Rodriguez, and we got him. So Robert Rodriguez is going to be overlooking the Threadlings for the duration of the project, which is pretty incredible. Those that don't know, Robert Rodriguez directed Sin City. He directed one of the best episodes in Four Rooms. He directed Machete, Death Proof, Spy Kids. What else, Tran? Once Upon a Time in Mexico, El Mariachi, Desperado. I mean, this thing goes on and on and on.
Well, he
From
did the Battle Angel Alita too, right?
Battle Angel Alita, From Dusk to Dawn. So we've been in contact with him and we've been showing him the Threadlings, and he's just giving us like advice and stuff like that, which is pretty awesome. So I've been preparing for that meeting, which is pretty cool. So I could show you some of the stuff. Grindhouse. Well, yeah, that's death. The yeah, I called it.
Death Proof.
It's not Death Proof. Death Proof is the Tarantino one.
Yeah, that is. That's
It is Grindhouse, but what's his called in particular in there? I forget. It's let me see.
Planet Terror.
Planet Terror. Yes, which is such a great B movie name. Okay,
Does
so
she have like a gun for a leg?
yeah, she has a machine gun for a leg. So I've just been putting together all of this stuff. So just more cactusy stuff. Um, I've been bringing this guy in. This is a piece that David Eisenstadt did for us. So I have to get these flowers in, which I don't have in yet. But let me get them in there. But you can see it's a massive piece, and then just going in and building.
He did that huge piece there.
Yeah, and then getting all of these other cactus uh, ready.
Yeah, you built quite a few cactuses.
Yeah, I built a bunch of these
Yeah,
things.
and
Um,
textured them and everything.
mhm. And They're pretty cool. They're really high resolution. Some of these things, like this thing, is just all pure geo. We've talked about it on other uh, episodes, but yeah, just getting that going and trying to sell the little world. I have an update on this peyote. So they eat peyote. These little guys, that's like their favorite food, and they also eat other berries, but they love peyote. So so you could see what they look like in their little tiny world. So the cool thing about this is like everything is going to go out of focus. So while we're building this, we're like, okay, it's got to look really nice, but ultimately it's going to look like this. So it's a super, super, super shallow depth of field, which is pretty awesome. Um, this one was not so dark before, but it's gotten very dark since I put in.
I haven't seen that new cactus, right? You just brought it in.
Yeah, I just brought it in. Let me hide this here. So it's cool. I just have to get all the shaders in there. Let's see. This thing is just such a beast that you see it just blocks. It literally blocks the sun. So um,
I like how that looks.
yeah, this little guy looks so cool here. So that's all displaced floor. This is using the Easy Mapper shader from what's his name, William Foucher. Say, as you can see, we're completely tired, so we're forgetting everybody's name.
Yeah, I'm
We're
so
forgetting
tired.
everything. But yeah, so that's all displacements, and then just grabbing some mega scan pieces that were supposed to be big and scaling them down. And that's the cool thing about rocks is when you actually analyze rocks, the difference between like big rocks and little rocks, as stupid as it sounds, like what I'm about to say is like, if you just make big rocks small, they look like small rocks.
It's actually true. There's so much detail in small rocks.
Yeah, like when you really look close up to small rocks, like that's just a big rock, but small. I know it sounds so dumb, like duh, but
Oh, and you're adding, I didn't know you're adding sheets of geometry in
oh
it.
yeah, totally. It helps break it up,
Yeah.
and then like little.
And then the cart is for the exterior scene. So they, in particular, um, they're not going to be, at least there's no plan for them to push it around.
Well, they'll
Um,
be pushing it around out
interior,
here, yeah.
yeah, it's meant for the exterior scene. So there's like an exterior scene. Obviously, that's why we have it. And they'll be in the cart, or cot will be sitting on the cart.
Yeah.
And Mayo is going to push it. I think that's cute.
Some of these here still have like messed up shaders. Let me update that. But yeah, so that's what I've been. Yeah, so let me show you this new cactus. So the problem right now with it is I don't have the transparency working because that shader does not have transparency, unfortunately. Da, da, da.
Transparency or subsurface?
Both. It doesn't have both right now. So I need to get it in there. Let's see. Where are you? It's not this one, is it? Okay, it is this one.
I'm looking at some of the comments. Thank you, everyone. The amount of quality work you guys output is incredible. Thank you. I don't know what this is. You guys ever use Unrella? Not sure if it's
It's
Max.
probably a UV unwrapper.
Ah, okay.
So you can see these don't have material on there yet. And then the spikes, I'm noticing there's some issue with the UVs here because that doesn't look right.
Did you turn on UV precision? Does it have multiple UDIMs?
Yeah, it might be that. Let me do that.
That's what say it's auto UVs. You know what it is? It's not really unwrapping it. It's just laying everything out and organizing everything. That makes it really tedious.
We've noticed that whenever you do auto UVs, you end up paying for it later down the line.
Yeah, it makes it take longer. The better your UVs are, the faster your texture job is. So always have good UVs so you texture very quick.
Yeah.
Here's some interesting questions.
How do you get into a program like that? Let me answer this one real quick.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll send you.
I think Miguel is looking something up.
Yeah. So that's the program right there that we're in. If you wanted to,
You can apply.
you could apply. There's a lot of applicants, of course, because you get a stipend and you get incredible connections.
But I think there were some from like qualifications and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You had to have beforehand. But yeah, if you meet those, then you can apply.
You had to be what was it that they said, like mid-career? Like they wanted you to have made some sort of short film, or working as a writer, which Tran and I have not worked as writers. Well, technically we did. We worked for Tim Miller. We did write a few things for him for Blur.
Yeah, but and the other thing is like you had to have management and
Yeah.
an agent or something like that.
Yeah.
So there were like qualifications for it. So some professional stuff in filmmaking and writing first, but just didn't expect you to be successful, but like to have gotten your foot wet a little bit first.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So and then that for us took years to get that, and then we applied.
But if you have a short film or something and you have an agent, you should definitely apply. It's really kick-ass.
Yeah. Here's another question. How do you guys write your stories?
That's a great question. So the 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 quickest way to get into it. Let me pull this up.
That's a nice looking cactus. It's all flickering weird, but it's nice.
Yeah, David's so clever with how he models his cactuses. He's so freaking clever. So they're always like one piece just duplicated a bunch of times. So this is just like one sheet folded, folded, and then he's hiding the connection in the center.
Yeah, what is all that stuff? And it's like plants or something.
There's like weird little plants up on the top. Yeah.
Those look great. Did a really good job.
Yeah, he's
He's one of the best. He has he graduated from Gnomon already, but I think he has like the record for the most amount of best of term wins in the history of Gnomon.
does he?
Yeah, I think he does. I have to ask, but I'm pretty sure like he has like he's had the most best of term wins. And best of term is like every term the students submit, a lot of students submit, and then the best pieces are chosen and they become part of best of term.
Yeah.
Um,
So this here, going back to the how do we write something? If you follow this, and I know, like, look, we don't even really look at this that much anymore, but this is something that helped us out a ton. It's called the Save the Cat beat sheet, and it's this guy called Blake Snyder who kind of broke down how every film doesn't have to have the same story, but it has to have the same structure. And if you get that structure, then everything kind of falls into place. What's great about this is if you kind of follow this, you will have more of a roadmap. And again, anything could happen in that roadmap. Like
it's a structure.
it's a structure, but there's a certain structure to how movies are made. whether you like it or not. If you follow this, you're gonna see this in Pulp Fiction. You're gonna see this in.
You'll definitely see in the first Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie.
If you follow this and look at Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, you're gonna be like shocked of how it matches to a T. It's like exact. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So if you do this, um, the thing that we like to do is, let me see if I could open something up. Give me 1 second.
While he's talking about that, like, it's not the only book out there in writing. Miguel and I have a bunch of books, and they're all really great too. But they can be really complex. And what's really great about Save the Cat is that it's super simple. It's really easy to understand, and really like being able to simplify anything, whatever art form they're in, the more simplified it is and the more you can like understand it at that basic level, the better that is. So
Yeah.
it's super popular for that reason.
So if you use this program called Final Draft, which is a program that we use, you could just come in here and, for example, double click on this and you start creating these like virtual index cards. And if you just lay them out with the structure of that Save the Cat beat sheet, for example, let me see if I could pull this up here. Where is it here? So I'm going to move this over to this other side. So let's just call this like what it is. So setup, and then we just type in, okay, so expand on the before snapshot. Present the main character's world as it is and what is missing in their life, right? So
You think about Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man Into
It's
Spider-Verse, yeah.
he starts at home. Like the first scene is like a hook from Peter Parker talking about the universe, and then after that, you meet Miles, and he starts at home. It's like your home life,
Yeah.
where things are not perfect.
That's Luke Skywalker being in the farm complaining about fixing moisture evaporators. That's, you know, Neo at his crappy office job. That's Harry Potter under the stairs, setting up why their life sucks. And then basically you go through this and you just put in these beats. And we literally would just copy and paste them like directly from here, right? So you don't have to make anything crazy. So literally just start with this, right? And just lay them out just like so, right? And then just start replacing these. It's almost like it's asking you a question and then you just have to kind of fill it in. So what is your character before, right? So this could be like Miguel and Tran are two podcasters, and Tran is working on her birthday and she's mad. Right?
I'm not mad.
She's not mad. I know, but I got to come up with a story, damn it. So that's the thing, right?
And then the thing in the setup is it's meeting the character in their daily life,
Yeah.
right? And it has to be imperfect. It has to be like an existence that is where it's something that the main character is not happy with. You have to introduce that. It can't just be like, well, I went to the grocery store today and bought milk. It has nothing, it has
Yeah.
to show like, well, maybe they work at the grocery store and they're underpaid and underappreciated or something like that.
Which is not what we are. So we definitely don't want to.
No, but we're just talking about the setup.
Yeah, of course, we're
And
just making a. So yeah, since we're tired, the only thing I could think about is streaming. So that's our story. So then the theme stated, this is like Luke Skywalker saying, you know, he wants to go and join the rebels to his uncle or whatever, and his uncle says he can't do it until next season, right? And then the catalyst, of course, is when the uncle and the aunt are burnt to death, and then he has to, or you could say when he gets C-3PO and R2-D2, and now they have to go to Alderaan, right? So there you go. And now the debate is,
yeah, they have to.
should I go to Alderaan? Should I not go to Alderaan?
Yeah.
Actually, I got it wrong. The catalyst is when they definitely find the droids, and Obi-Wan Kenobi says, "Hey, we gotta go. You gotta go save this. You gotta go save the rebels." And then the debate is when he goes, I can't do that. I have to go. I have to stay here. I have to do blah, blah, blah. There always has to be that debate. And then that crossing the threshold is once he's like, okay, I'm off. I'm going to go do this.
Yeah, and crossing threshold is like literally a term in like the hero's journey. So you have to have the setup of their life, and then something in their life, which is the catalyst that completely throws their daily life out of order. In for Miles, it's the fact that he got bit by a spider, right? And then there's always the dilemma. Sometimes there's not, but generally the character has to have some kind of resistance or hesitation towards it. Especially in a hero's journey, like there's always that in a hero's journey.
Yeah. So if we were to follow today's story, so Tran.
No, don't make up that. It's lame. That's just lame.
It's a great story.
You know, just use a good, use something good like.
I can't come up with anything right
Well, you
now.
don't have to. Just use Luke and or like
Okay,
Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is like, in my opinion, I'm talking about it because I think it's such an amazing movie. It's so good, and I don't just mean visually. I think it's just a good, amazing story.
Yeah. So you start laying these out, and slowly you just basically start replacing them with yours. And then by the end of that, there's not that many of those beats. You have a story.
Yeah.
Let me see if I have.
I can see your screen. So it goes to break into two. So that's Act Two. So movies have three acts, right? Act One, Two, and Three. Act Two is usually the longest, usually like double the length. So Act One and Act Three are like the same length, and Act Two is usually double. The B story is usually the love story. You won't usually see B stories so much in shorts, but you will see them in a feature. And in Spider-Man, it's Gwen. It's also Peter Parker's story.
So here's the beat sheets now for for the Threadlings, right? So we kind of, and this is an old one, by the way, so this is not the final thing, but you could see at the end we end up replacing all the stuff like this is where a discussion about the theme, the negative truth is said. We replace that with what is actually going to happen in the story. And then I start color coding them where it's like an action scene that would be red, then it cools off. It's cool, it gets hot again, it gets hot again. So the red just basically means either high drama or action, and then cuts back to slow. So fun and games, this would be like, okay, this is definitely like an important moment. So fun and games is uh, Luke escaping. This is the part where the kids are like, wow, this is fun, right? It's the adventure, swinging off, swinging from ropes, swinging sword kind of stuff. Um, and then I just start color coding this and trying to make sure that it never is like blue, 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 but trying to get red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, so that it feels like the action and the sense of movement is balanced. So that's basically how we set up our stories. Yeah, Tran?
Yeah, it is. I'm actually just reading your beat here. This is pretty old. I'm reading
Yeah,
Mayo
this
accidentally
is
decapitates the mage, killing him on the spot.
yeah, this is not it. This is like very old, but this is all we have. And then once we have that, then we start going in. Let me see what I have here. And we start putting everything out um, in script form. So the cool thing is when you use a program like Final Draft, so let's just say we were to start with something blank here. So I'm just going to copy and paste some of this stuff just to show you, but you could see if you put something in like this, and then you press enter again, or you press enter twice, it tells you what do you want to add, a character, dialogue, a transition shot. So if you put character, I could say, for example, Tran, right? And then,
Let me be a voiceover.
okay, so Tran is talking in voiceover, so then you could see if I put the parentheses. Is it that's a parentheses? No, that's not.
Yeah, it's a parenthesis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then that just pops up, and then you can type.
You get voiceover, or you get off screen. OC. What the hell is OC?
It's off camera.
Off camera.
It's,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's usually used in TV. I don't know why,
Yeah. We never use off camera. We use off screen.
but supposedly TV scripts will have off camera. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why. It doesn't. They're the same thing.
Subtitle, whatever. So we could do like voiceover, and then here. So Tran could say something.
I am super cool today.
Today, so Tran says, "I'm super cool. Today is not my birthday, right?" And then we could put something like, "Tran gets upset that Miguel gave it away," right? Right. So then you press enter again. When you go back to character, the minute I press T, it already knows the name of all your characters. So you can see over here, if I were to press enter and go to characters, if I press Z, I immediately go to Zort. If I press T, well, I don't have a T, but you can see there's all the characters. So I could
Yeah.
just pick what character I want to say whatever they're gonna say.
Yeah. So once you put them the first time, it recognizes that. So it's nice. I noticed that some people don't use Final Draft. I thought everyone did. Some people just use Word, but this just makes life easy. All your margins are worked out and everything, and your structure and your spacing. You don't have to think about it. There's also another feature called collaboration.
Yeah, which is, so this is what we do. So if you press this over here, you go to host or join, and then we could both be working on the script simultaneously.
Yeah, so you can actually connect two people, like literally staring at the same thing and then typing, and then you'll see on your other screen the other person's typing.
Yeah.
It's a little bit slow, but we really definitely really love that feature.
Yeah. But that's it. So that's how you put this whole thing in together, and then you have your title page, which is, it's weird. It's like a separate document, but it's saved in the same document. But yeah, that's how we go about it. If you start with the Save the Cat beat sheet, it will make your life.
Yeah,
Much-
and I think the formatting of scripts are really important because a script, one page usually like gives you a sense of time on the screen.
Yeah.
And so if you just kind of use something like Word, and if you don't like know how to format it manually, which I don't, because we just use Final Draft, all of a sudden you could be having like a much denser script than you realize, because your margins are wider, and therefore your page count is like appears smaller, which is not like, doesn't track with the time on the screen, things like that. And that's why formatting is really important for us, because it gives us a sense of time on the screen.
Yeah. So that timing is 1 minute per page, more or less.
But animation is usually faster.
Yeah.
That's for live action in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how we do it.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, let me put the page, because it's a great thing. So if you go to this, that has got the breakdown for the Save the Cat.
And again, the more simple you can make your script, the stronger it's going to be. You don't want a script that's overcomplicated.
Yeah, keep it simple. The less you think you're Shakespeare, the better.
Yeah.
That's what we found. Like every time we try to overcomplicate things, you end up realizing like
Well, you think about the best stories are actually really simple.
best. Like think about, Star Wars. What is it? Good guy finds plans to destroy the castle. Bad guys want the plans. Kidnap the princess. They need to rescue the princess. The cavalry comes to kill the good guys, and the good guys beat them in time. Like that's the story. That's it.
What's Back to the Future? Back to the Future is really good too.
Yeah. Well, the thing Back to the Future Back to the Future is the ballsiest freaking movie when you really think about it.
It's incredible.
Like people look at it and they see it as like this total cute, fun Amblin movie. But if I were to pitch to you, this is a story about a guy that goes back in time, and his mother has the hots for him and wants to try to sleep with him. You'd be like, wait a minute, we can't, we
Yeah.
can't make this movie. The hell are you talking about? It's a total messed up film. We have a really good friend of ours who's like obsessed with one day wanting, which is never gonna happen, of course, because this would be blasphemy. But he wants to make uh, a darker version of Back to the Future. He's like, that movie should be super dark. If you really think about it, it's really messed up. So yeah,
It's messed up, but they like wrapped it up really
in a way that you don't realize how messed up it is.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like when you really think about it, like now this guy, if you go back to at the end of the film, their son looks just like this guy that the father knew the mother was in love with. That is pretty much the exact same age as when this other guy was around. So this father's constantly thinking, "This is not really my kid. That's this guy's kid that disappeared." Uh,
Yeah.
we're gonna name the kid after him.
Marty.
No, don't they? No, they call it. He calls himself Clint Eastwood, doesn't he? Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah,
I don't know what he calls himself.
yeah, yeah.
But still, he looks like
It looks exactly like
her
Marty.
high school crush.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It is super messed up. It actually doesn't. Um, what do they call that? Fridge logic.
Yeah,
Let's see. Hey, Chatty.
yeah. There's a lot of
Hello.
cactus.
There's a bunch of cactus. We decided cactus are cool.
Yeah. So what else, Tran?
I don't know. I'm just super tired. I really want to just. I mean, I'll look into because Tetsu said that it's pretty good. It also lays out
I got to figure out why this
all
stuff
this
is so
all this stuff here.
so noisy.
What is noisy? The texture?
Like, look, it's like a strobe light now.
Sometimes you just have to restart. I actually get that too sometimes in my scenes, where the light just just flashes like that, and I just need to restart.
These
That cactus looks cool.
cactus looks cool. The berries need to be higher res.
Oh, this is the main cactus that Mayo is running up, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's what I thought.
So it holds it, like even this, considering they're just the same piece over and over, like this stuff needs to be sculpted out.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be that hard because it's just kind of the same piece over and over and over. Well, it feels like there's like a few pieces.
Here's a comment here. So back in the future, the main character is him, father, like dark. Well, well, yeah, it's pretty dark. Goes back to the past, meets his mom. His mom has a crush on him. He's in danger of disappearing because if his parents don't fall in love, he'll no longer exist. That's an amazing stake there. So that's the other thing, right? In a good story, you have a lot of risk, and his very existence is at risk. That he himself has inadvertently messed up,
Yeah.
and now he has to fix it.
Yep. Okay, I need a piece that has transparency. What material do I have?
Oh, you mean like for the flowers?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's on those bubbly ones with the flowers there?
Hold on, I have this here.
I'm tired.
Does this have?
Yeah, we're both so slow today. Um,
I'm just going to create a super simple one for now.
I'm going to reload my scene and do finish what I was trying to do, which is super lame stuff.
Why is it super lame?
I'm basically looking at a tire, thinking about how I should mirror it on the other side, if it's like actually like truly mirrored mesh or not.
So let's see if this goes into.
And that makes it lame. Here's a question. How did the idea for Threadlings happen? That's an interesting story.
So when we finished our last film called even before that, this thing called the Ningyo, which was like this live action film, um, we it's like a period film, and it took place in like the early 1900s, and we ended up having to buy a bunch of antiques to use for the film. And one of the things that we bought were these Persian rugs, which we really loved. And that project, when we finished it, we optioned it out to this company called Thunder Road, which was a company that did the John Wick movies. And we thought this thing was going to take off. It was going to get made by this big company, and we were so happy. And when with COVID and all these other circumstances, the project basically died, and it was so devastating. But we kept joking around like, well, at least we have the rugs. Joking around like that's all we have left that we got from this project that we spent years working on. And then all of a sudden we started finding like cloth moths in our rugs, and they started eating our fucking rugs, and I started losing my mind because I couldn't, no matter how many times we vacuumed, they would always come back. These fucking cloth moths, and they're tiny little moths, and they would destroy the rugs, and they basically destroyed the rugs. They completely destroyed it. Little by little, they would just destroy it. And I just went to war against these freaking moths. I just hated these things. They were the Darth Vader in my life. And then I just started thinking, imagine if I was a Muppet and these things were around, they'd be devouring me. So that was kind of the catalyst. We're like, okay, so let's make it about little guys made out of fabric and their war against the moths. It's so stupid.
Yeah, and the other thing too, like in the process, like you learn a lot about moths. You're like, man, they're like gross. That the biggest thing was like realizing that at least for me, that the adults don't eat the fabric; it's the babies. So that they basically use like natural organic cloth just to lay their eggs in. So they lay their eggs, and then when the larvae hatch, the larvae are the things that eat the actual like fabric, but not the adult moths themselves. So they're like a form of how they breed. And again, they go for fabrics that are real. So if you don't want moths in your house, just get a bunch of synthetic fabric, and they won't want to eat it.
Yeah, so
And that is like in our story. That is part of our story. The moths want to eat these guys.
I mean that is the story basically.
Yeah, it's the story for sure. That is their goal, is to eat the threadlings, but not directly, but to lay eggs inside of them. And we don't actually like say it like really explicitly. It is in there, but Their goal is to lay eggs and these little cute guys, and then for the eggs to hatch and eat these guys from the inside.
Yeah, I could actually show.
It's pretty messed up,
Let me see if I have it here.
but that's what they strive for. Dark. Scary. Yeah, it's pretty dark when you think about it. But that's why these guys, like, they're designed. Uh, we really were trying to make them as cute as we can make them. Um, you just really feel bad for them, I think, if they're, you know, that they're being eaten and all that stuff.
So this is the larva that's gonna come out of the threadlings. It's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
So a big thing for us is just the style clash, right? We want the creatures to just not belong in this world. Like they have to just look disgusting and like they're from the wrong film. So yeah, that's gonna be the little guys that pop out of their chest.
Yep. Pretty gross.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And, you know, just imagine that happening to our characters caught running around. It's not going to happen to him because he's our main character. But it happens to, like, his people. And he's, like, gets to see it. So it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, we're messed up. Okay, so let me see. So two-sided material. That's correct.
I remember last stream, um, I was trying to do what you were doing, just set up a material, and I just couldn't do it.
Well,
So
the opacity looks weird also on this. Like, look at the flower there. Do you see what I mean?
what's going on? Oh, is it past? Is it like not able to sort it?
Yeah.
That is really weird.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some weird stuff going on with this thing. I don't know. Yeah, last week you had the same issue. You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it on the stream, and then stream ended, and you figured it out in 5 seconds.
Well, I couldn't like do it while talking. I can still work. I think what it is we've been just trying to maximize our time and really get stuff done. Um, and so it's just, you know, go into zombie mode, I guess. It doesn't feel like a zombie when I'm working, but it feels like a zombie when I start having to talk. So like it's fine, but all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I need to like interact with people, and that's when I realized like I am totally a zombie right now.
Yeah. It's funny. I thought these cactus were gonna be pretty big, but these things have to be much bigger. Unless this thing is too big. I don't know.
I think this. I don't know. I mean, how big is caught? I think that might be too big for Mayo.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? Like that?
It still looks really big. He's got to run up it. I don't really know.
There's a little guy right there. Let's see.
I think it might still be big. Would be nice if Unreal had some basic material templates like SS and terrain building presets. I think I agree with that completely. Netbug is
Yeah.
like what I'm seeing. Thank you. Yeah, he is really little. Another question: are you guys making the stories more messed with every project? I don't think this story is actually as messed up as Voice in the Hollow. It's actually still lighter. It's just the bad guys are really bad.
Yeah, but the thing about
There-
this is there's no real evil here. It's just predator prey, right? It's just, hey, we eat fabric and you're made out of fabric. Uh, Voice in the Hollow is more messed up because it's true envy.
yeah,
I
yeah,
got to figure out what the UVs are, but I could see how this could be pretty cool, a pretty cool shot, because it could look like. What would be really interesting is to frame it in a way so it almost looks like he's just walking sideways. Do you see what I mean? And then you realize that he's walking vertically, because that's the whole thing. Mayo can walk on walls, so he's going to just walk right up the cactus like this and just kind of go around these things.
that is kind of cool. He is. I love
Tough thing is I can't do that with the camera here. I'd have to manually position it, but I could do that. I could just come over here.
that. Looks really like huge. It makes him look like a really little guy, which is a good thing. We want them to feel.
You think smaller?
Well, it depends how you want it to be. Actually, I'm not. Don't really have a preference. He just has to get there up there pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's editing though. But you want it to look like he climbed something bigger.
Yeah.
Like, there's something really cool about a shot like that.
That is really cool. I think that the smaller these guys feel, the more endearing they are. So there is like a lot we think about in the story of these characters in terms of like how they're designed. Um, you know, you're supposed to feel for them, and then especially against the moths, like hopefully when you look at them and you see them, you're like, oh man, these moths, these poor creatures.
Yeah.
Tetsu's like the scale feels right before. That's a nice. Those are nice angles.
So something like that.
But you had a really nice angle when it was kind of curved, like with a camera like that. It was really cool. So that will be like a shot. The Mayo is gonna run up the walls. They're basically collecting berries. I think it's super funny that they're collecting berries. Uh,
Collecting berries while they eat peyote.
yeah, I think it's fun.
Because then the real question becomes: is any of this actually happening to them, or are they just on peyote? But then you have to remember that they're little guys made out of fabric. So, uh,
I don't know. I mean, the peyote thing is in the background.
oh
It
yeah, totally.
it's not. I don't think you'll pick up on it.
You have to know what we don't ever use the word peyote ever.
Yeah, you have to like recognize the plant. So it's a very small population of people that would recognize that.
So something like that, they'd be running up. So this obviously has to get set dressed for this, which this guy is not.
No, but I don't think it'll be a big deal.
And
And then that pink thing is the moth right there, right?
yeah, yeah. Where is caught? I know I have another caught here somewhere.
Oh, you mean caught with textures?
Yeah, let me see.
But I think that's cool, like to start framing these shots because we have to build all the architectural stuff is constructed like without camera angles really in mind. It's just built, and then we'll find camera angles. But I think for something like in an exterior environment, like these cacti and stuff, you can't just build everything. It's gonna be a little bit different. You have to build it for the shot. So just having some of this set up uh, will be helpful.
So weird.
You should just dock that content browser.
No, I know. It's not that. I'm just trying to figure out why I can't just swap them out here.
He's not showing up in the search.
Yeah. It's fine. Yeah, I can't wait to get into the shots.
Me too.
Have them right here. That'll look really cool with his legs like spread between the two.
Oh yeah, like Mayo with his hammer pants, MC
Yeah.
hammer pants.
Yeah.
I don't know, you guys. Some of you guys have been like on the stream for a while, but Mayo's pants are made after MC Hammer. And I remember pulling up MC Hammer when I was making his pants on the stream.
Yeah. MC Hammer is our inspiration.
It is actually for his pants.
Let me see what some of the messages. Has the depth of field been improved? So sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the chat. Let me see. Has the depth of field been improved? No, it feels the same to me.
I think it feels better.
Does it?
It does feel better. It doesn't, but we also making things thicker. So we don't really from Voice in the Hollow. We tried to do like thin things out of focus, and then it was very problematic. So on this thing, that's why things are succulents, because they're just chunkier and less like thin twigs and stuff like that. But I do think it's actually improved. But I also think it's our choices too.
Yeah. Yeah, Tetsuo, I'm gonna. This is definitely not the final scale. I have to find exactly the right one, but I know the thorns are definitely not working, and the flowers are not working. So, I mean, I'm doing something overly simplistic here. So blend mode, translucent, right? Yes. Or are you doing masked, Tran?
Um, it has to be masked, and you have to enable nanite in the shader too. So if you search nanite in there's a check mark. That was one thing when I was doing the flower again, I was like,
That might be
why it's not working.
why it was acting weird. Okay, two-sided foliage. Do I if I put subsurface profile?
So I actually use the profile, but sometimes, you don't have to. One might look better than the other. It seemed to work fine for me. You can just do that. So I have it as surface, it's mask, and then the shading model is subsurface profile.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And then I had to double side it, and I enabled the nanite part, use with nanite.
So subsurface profile, masked, and these guys are all linear.
It should work. I think you have to create like a masked parameter.
Let me throw the normal map in here.
I think that cactus looks really cool.
Oh yeah, it's gonna work.
It like holds up really great.
Da, da, da. Yeah, I gotta figure out the spikes, but
Did you turn on, does this have multiple UDIMs?
yep,
Did you turn on UV precision?
yep. Sure
Maybe that's just how
does.
it looks.
No, no, no. There's no way the spikes. I mean, it looks like stretched UVs.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Wow.
they just look like messed up.
See what I mean?
Yeah, they just look strange.
Yeah. Which, is a good thing. That means it's only going to look better once it's fixed. So let me take a look at the Alembic file. So in terms of the depth of field, Tetsuo, I think even if it's improved, the, the, the fundamental issue is still the same, right? That it's basically just a Z depth applied as a post process. So you're still going to have the limitations that you would have with when you're using a Z depth to focus and nuke, which is the way things really work is if they're really close up to the camera, if they go out of focus, they would become essentially almost see-through. You can't do that with the Z depth method because it doesn't know what is behind the object that is going quote unquote see-through, right? It's really frustrating because you would think, hey, you're in the program. You are the program that's not just rendering it, but doing that post effect, unlike Nuke. You know what is behind there. Can't you kind of do some sort of a trick? And it doesn't. So you always get really weird artifacts. I'll show you what I mean by that. So you could see this here. Uh, if I push the depth of field on this, and it's really thin. Let me see if I can find something that's very thin. You can definitely see it with the grass. So let me just do it with grass. So, okay. So you see it right here. So you can see this grass blade should be essentially almost see-through. But because of the method that it's using, you get this really weird, ugly edge effect because it doesn't actually show you what is on the other side. And that's the same flaw that you would get if you tried to overcrank Z depth in Nuke with a Z depth. That's just the technique behind it is flawed. It's not that the Z depth, or sorry, the depth of field is better or worse. Just that method will always give you something like this. The only way that you would get around this is you would have to render this thing separately and comp it back on top, and you would have two layers. And then when you push this depth of field, it would look essentially almost see-through, and that would look correct. You would not get that weird artifact. Oh. All right, so let's find this spot again.
That looks crazy. How are you gonna not get motion sick?
Oh, I'm getting motion sick. The truth is the real way to set up a camera like this would be you have to manually place it, not look through the camera because yeah.
I still have trouble moving cameras around and stuff in this program.
So let me save the position for now. Okay, so let me see what is going on with that Alembic file. It might be something very simple to fix.
What Alembic file is problematic? I'm doing the most exciting thing. You guys, I can see that my screen is still sharing. Basically moving UVs around. Normally when I do stuff like this, I definitely try to like play something in the background. And it totally makes sense why you turn into a zombie after doing this. just playing Tetris. Yeah, I have super straight UVs. Right?
This is definitely there. 1, 2. Oh wait, was it something with anything past 4 UDIMs gets weird, right?
How many UDIMs are there? You know, I don't know. That wasn't a thing that I noticed earlier. So like the way we've been doing it is, but what's that center? What's on the fourth? What's that fourth UDIM? It's just a square.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And the spikes are in the fifth one, right? Did you look at the textures though? Like maybe the textures look like that.
No. David's not going to give something like that.
I know, but maybe it's a mistake. How do the UVs, the checkers look on the
That's
spike?
a foliage piece here.
Yeah, but like how does the checkers look on the spikes? I can't really tell at that distance. I don't know how you can see it.
Well, I haven't pressed it yet.
They look weird. Those checkers look messed up, right? Like they're super stretched.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's an Unreal problem.
I would almost just just redo these pieces like really hero level. You know what I mean? Like bring this into a modeler or ZBrush or whatever, and just
And make them higher res, yeah.
yeah. I understand why he did it though, because if you had this really high res and you duplicated it this amount of times in Maya, it would have a heart attack.
Yeah. It would totally have a heart attack. I understand that. Oh, okay. How do you replace that easily? He must have a like, how did he populate all that? Could he replace that easily?
I don't know. So let me see. Is this and this one the same? No.
Well, you guys can see what our life, what our life involves. Getting new things. looking at things, troubleshooting things. That's just how it is. Yeah, I don't think it's difficult to have to.
You know, these things, I wish there was a way to just reference this stuff. I mean, I know there is a way to do it from the beginning, but at this point, like, just swap this for something else, you know? Because it's still a ton of work to,
Just replace all that.
a ton of work.
Yeah.
And the worst kind of work, the type of work that you look at and you're like, this should just be, there just has to be an easier way of doing this. Like, my God, I never thought that AI would replace concept art before you could mirror UVs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we talk about that a lot, how the visual effects industry did not improve its tools at the pace that AI is improving at all. Like we just got Booleans to work in Maya. Like this is incredible.
Yeah.
More blur. So yeah, I gotta look into this and see. But
That looks like a pain in the butt. You kind of have to kick it back and be like, these things need to hold up.
yeah,
The normals and the flowers look locked to like all that black artifact.
I don't think it's that. It's not the normals. It's this thing is massive.
Oh, it's just really thin, and the camera is clipping through it.
So film, yeah, the clipping planes.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all I got for today. Tran, do you have anything else?
Like I'm just like staring around going, what do I have to UV left? I'm organizing this stuff. I am kind of slow. I think I'm just slow. I think I need like one day off.
Yeah.
Because we haven't taken a day off. We're like in between the term, and we usually when we get that time, we usually just go at it on the project as much as we can.
That's when we work harder than ever.
Yeah,
We're like, time off. Now we could really work.
yeah, that's our thinking. Like, oh shoot, we can get a bunch of stuff done,
Yeah.
and that's how we operate.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, I think we're gonna cut it short. Today's Tran's birthday. She's gonna crash, and the worst part about it is we have a meeting in 20 minutes. So Tran didn't want anybody to know it's her birthday. It's her birthday, so wish her a happy birthday.
Yeah, and I'm like, please don't tell anyone. He's like, I'm gonna tell everybody.
I want to tell everybody.
I was like, thanks.
So Tran is awesome, and she has a cool present.
I do.
You got a cool present.
I got the best present. Which maybe I'll show next time.
She'll show it next time.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody. Thanks Gnomon. Thanks Dell and NVIDIA for being awesome and sponsoring us. And thanks everybody for tuning in.
And supporting us. We absolutely really appreciate that.
And happy birthday, Tran. Let me see if I can get this to work here. Let me see. I've never used this button in my life.
I don't know if everyone can hear it, but I can hear it.
They can hear it. They can hear it. So, all right, guys. So thanks so much, and thanks James for being in the back there, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye, everyone.